Welcome to this explainer. You know, whenever we get sick, we just kind of expect the medicine the doctor prescribes to actually work, right? But in the world of cancer care, millions of patients globally spend agonizing months on therapies, essentially just waiting around to see if a treatment will shrink their tumor. Well, today, we're taking a close look at OncoPulse. It's a platform using artificial intelligence and metabolomics to predict therapy response straight from a simple blood draw. Let's jump right in with a number that is, honestly, it's pretty staggering. Depending on the specific indication, 30 to 70% of patients simply do not respond to their first-line cancer therapy. Let that sink in. That is a massive, painful gap in modern oncology. You receive a diagnosis, you get a standard of care drug, and you basically have a coin flip's chance, sometimes even worse, that it's actually going to work. And this blind spot? It carries a monumental cost. First off, there's the lost time. The actual response to a drug is invisible for months, meaning a non-responding patient is losing absolutely critical time. Second is the toxicity. Patients are subjected to draining, awful side effects from treatments that aren't even fighting their disease. And third, from a pure healthcare perspective, literally billions of dollars are wasted every single year administering ineffective treatments. So let's talk about the paradigm shift, moving from potential to reality. To really understand this shift, you have to look at our current methods. Genomics essentially just shows us risk, right? It's kind of like looking at a blueprint to see if a house might catch fire. Imaging, on the other hand, offers a really late signal. You're waiting months for a tumor to physically change its size. But metabolomics, that gives us the actual real-time biology of the tumor. It's not looking at the blueprint, it's looking at the house and seeing the smoke right now. Which brings us to the OncoPulse solution. AI meets real-time biology. Now, I want to be clear, this isn't just some wild theory. OncoPulse's approach is backed by hardcore, rigorous science. It's published front and center in Nature scientific reports. They demonstrated highly accurate therapy response prediction using ROC and AUC metrics. And if you're into data science, you know that's essentially the gold standard for proving a test can accurately tell the difference between a true positive and a false positive. So yeah, it's undeniable validation. The way the platform actually works is beautifully streamlined. Step 1 is just a minimally invasive blood sample. Step 2 runs that sample through liquid chromatography mass spectroscopy, or LCMS for short. You can think of it as a highly advanced molecular sorting machine to capture all that rich metabolic data. Step 3 feeds that data directly into their proprietary AI. And Step 4, you get a rapid, actionable therapy response prediction. But, any good platform knows it can't just boil the ocean on day one. OncoPulse's smart strategy really lies in its initial focus. Rather than coming out claiming they can instantly predict all cancers, they're targeting a single vital indication first, like breast cancer, lung cancer, or immunotherapy response. Doing this allows them to perfectly fine-tune the model and establish a really clear clinical pathway. All right, let's look at the market, a massive pharma opportunity. Because while the benefit to patients is completely obvious, the strongest customer for a platform like this is actually big pharma. Pharmaceutical companies spend billions developing oncology drugs, and a lot of them actually fail in broad clinical trials just because they only work for a tiny subset of patients. By using OncoPulse's real-time metabolic predictions, pharma can potentially resurrect those failed trials. They can deploy drugs exclusively to targeted, biomarker-selected patients where they know the drug will actually work.